Hey, what's going on, guys? G1X here, and today I thought we'd take a look at Transformers Masterpiece MP-23 Exhaust. Now, this guy's one of the more exclusive or kind of limited figures just because of the fact he wasn't released here in the States. That all is due to the issues between Takara and Philip Morris USA, also known as Marlboro, just because of the fact that when he was originally designed, he was going to have the red coming down here, so it was all going to come down to a point. This was going to come at a 90-degree angle and down to a point. This was also going to have a little 90-degree triangle in there as well, which was basically meant to look like the Marlboro cigarette brand, but because this is considered a toy, maybe you're not going to buy this for a 4-year-old, so it's not really a toy, it's more of an adult collector's item, but because of the fact that it's still classified as a toy, therefore there's a law in the States where you can't use a toy to kind of market cigarettes to children because they're 18 and above and stuff like that. So I kind of get the point there. They changed it up to where you get this design. So it's not exactly a triangle, and you can see this is just a rectangle inside a rectangle, but still Philip Morris had an issue with that. So therefore he was just canceled all throughout the United States. And this is basically what you got. And it was only in Japan. Maybe there was a few other countries that were able to buy it, but that's kind of the story on that. Now, there is a KO version that has come out here recently, so whenever you're watching this, it is out if you want to go pick that up. This is actually the authentic, and they were selling the authentics for about $150. I've even seen them go for as much as $200. I knew as soon as the KO came out that the numbers the price was going to drop on the authentic, which it did, and I was able to pick this guy up for $100 ship, which was pretty much what I was willing to pay for it. I thought that was a pretty decent deal, so here he is, and I'm able to show him to you. It's been about a month since I've done a review, so a little rusty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I definitely appreciate you guys sticking with me, and new subscribers that wonder like where all the reviews are. Sorry, apologize about that, but for the next couple of weeks, got some pretty cool stuff. I've got MP-10B, I've got the MP-10 EVA Prime, maybe the year that, so a lot of MP-10 stuff there. And then also maybe I'll do the G1 Triptychon, the original, and also the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Stormtrooper, so along with some other stuff. But anyways, on to this guy. We've rambled on long enough. He does come with these missile podrons, which are 4 pieces. They don't shoot or anything, but you can take the missiles out. You just put those together. He does come with this little, forgot what it's called, but it's not important. And it's 4 pieces as well. You just put it together. You can take it off the stand. You can put it in his hand, or you can just leave it like this, which is what I plan to do. All right, with this, you can see that you have this little thing and the little gimmick that it's so weird to say Masterpiece has a gimmick. They shouldn't, but I guess if you want to do that, then you can see that these can bend back and forth, and if you wanted to pull them out, act like they are firing, then there you go. But pull that out, and it's just 2 separate pieces there. And just get a nice little look at him. This one, I was kind of talking to Victory Saber 77, and I was in agreement with him that I like this version better than I do Wheeljack. Now, I do have Wheeljack. He is in his robot form. One of the things that I will point out that's different is this has repro labels all throughout it, and this little silver for the headlight, so that is a sticker, but you can see that the grill and everything is just a black. To where on this guy, if we can get it to hit the light, you can see that that is that clear or translucent blue. Same with here, and the same on the wings as well. You can see that the gun, it stores back here to serve as exhaust. So there you go. As far as size comparison with some of the others, this is the only guy that I have transformed at the moment, but look pretty clean together. Even though he's a Decepticon, he's an Autobot, they're not going to ride together, but just kind of give you an idea there. Right, and just kind of looking around it, you can see the nice red wheels, tail lights are painted there. A couple of things that you can kind of notice if you're looking at it loose, and you're wanting to know, am I buying an authentic or am I buying a KO? Most of the time you're going to be able to tell by the price. But in case the fact that someone wants to get a KO and raise the price to kind of fool you that it's maybe an authentic, there are kind of 3 telltales. One being the Decepticon symbol. You can see how this one's very thin, it's very, very clean. To where the one on the KO, it's a little bit thicker. It's not as clean as this. Like if you look at them side by side, you'll be able to tell like, oh, this is definitely the authentic. So you can use this as reference if you want. I've also posted some photos on the Facebook page that They're kind of buried behind other news and stuff like that. But the other thing is, whenever you look at these little red pencil lines going throughout here, you can see that it's very clean all throughout here. It's not as clean on the KO. And the other thing is the good flavor here. You can see how this all matches up. Let me see if I can get that focused a little bit better. But it says good flavor. It's all matched up. You can definitely see where the F starts here in the laver on this side. That it's lined up perfectly. The remaining part of the top part of the F, there's a little bit right there, and it lines up perfectly with this side of the F. This is obviously authentic. The one on the KO, it's not as clean. It's kind of like a little bit higher or lower, or further separated, or they didn't get all the L in there and stuff like that. So you can definitely tell that on the authentic, they made sure that they did it right. On the KO, then it's kind of messed up a little bit. Now, if you're someone that doesn't mind buying the KO, other than quality, I can't really speak on that since I don't have a KO in my hand. But from knowing and have handled a couple of them in my time, the KOs they don't snap in the places and fit together as well as the authentic. So if those are your the only issues, and you don't mind having a little bit more of a floppy character where he sits on your shelf, then go ahead and get the KO if you want to. If you're like me and you have to have the authentic, then obviously you're going to go this way, and I don't think $100 is too bad. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. First thing we're going to do is push, or I like to unclip here actually first. So unclip there. I think the directions just tell you start here, but I like to unclip that and then push down with this section here. And that gives me a little bit of room so I can get my finger in there and pull back with this. So you can see that we're untabbing there and untabbing there. And then what I want to do is bring this section here. So we're just trying to work this around so we can get this waist piece around just like so. And if all this untabs, that's fine. And then we'll tab this in later. But then we're going to extend these legs. And with this section here, we're going to come around and then come around with this one. And you can see that there's a tab right here, and then there's a slot right there. So what we're going to do is push these forward until we can, there we go, until we can get that in that tab, and the foot can set just like so. And get that in there. Little mirrors. You get 2 sets of mirrors, and sometimes they come out. But there's the feet right there. With this section here, there's a tab that's located this way. So you're just going to pop that out. You can see it right there. There's that tab, and there's that hole I was referring to. And you're just going to come down with this and make sure you pull like this down, and then that'll rotate just like so. And you can tab that into that hole. And I'll show you from the beginning on this one. So untab here, start coming down. You're gonna pull this out, come down, and then rotate, and then plug that into that hole. And there's your legs done. Then you can see that there is a translucent blue tab right here, and then there's that hole right there. That's going to connect in there. Yeah. All right, and so this is already done. You go ahead and pull that back if you like. Open this up. Pop up the head. And pop off the gun. And then with this section, you're going to just pull this up and pull it up in the back, because this is what's kind of holding everything together, is these 2 clips right here. And then you can pull these out. You don't want to come out all the way yet, just about right there. Because you're going to, whenever you bend these little blue, I'm going to call them wings. You can see them right there, a little translucent. Make sure you're bending very close to the joint. You never want to bend, on stuff. You can see how easily it moves. So that'll probably be the first thing that ever breaks on your figure if you do break it. But you want to make sure that you bend close to here at the joint as possible. So you're going to come up about a quarter. Same with that. Like so. And go ahead and rotate these around. Like so. And then you can come down with this section here. Come back with these wheels. And then they're going to bend down on a joint and, well, I guess we got to pull the arms out first. Sorry about that. But then you're going to come down and slide in there just like so. With this section, you can see that this, or where is it? This little section is going to tab into the back there. This is going to tab into there, even though it's a little loose of a clip together, but it'll still stay in there pretty well. Then you can come back with the wings. Make sure those are as close to the head as they will go. And then you can tab that into the back there, and that the best you can. You can see that it stays in there pretty decent. So it's not coming out with a little bit of force, but it's very, if I just do it with my hands, it's very easy to come out. So it's a very soft tab. Then with the arms, going to push back right here on that little piece, rotate that, and then come out with the hand. Do the same thing with this one, push back, come out, and rotate there. And you got the elbow, and then rotate the hand. Come down with the shoulder, rotate, and rotate. And there you have exhaust. He's all transformed, looking pretty good. Get that to stay in there. He's probably one of the better figures to have his gun actually stay in his hand. Now it's a little harder to get in there, but there we go. It stays in there really well without even having to close the fists, which I do like, just because all the lamb bores are a little bit difficult in that department. Now again, like I said, you can take this off and put it in his hand if you want. And we'll just plug that back in there and put it to the side. And then you can also put these little missile quadrants on his shoulders. And they can stay down here or they can go up, however you like. So, but here he is with comparison to Wheeljack. And, like I said earlier, to be honest, I actually like the exhaust a little bit more. Even though I do like Wheeljack, but I like the blue, the translucent blue. I think it makes it look really well. A couple of other comparisons that I wanted to do. Here he is with some other like cars, obviously Autobots. And throw a Decepticon in there. Here he is with MP-10B. So they don't look too bad together. You're going to put them on the Decepticon shelf. All right, as far as articulation, it's the same as Wheeljack. Give me your gun, dude. His head does, rotate however you need to. The little missile quadrants, they do go up and down. The shoulders go in and out. They rotate here. They rotate at the bicep, bend 90 degrees at the elbow. Does rotate fully at the wrist. Oh, he's not seeming to bend in right there. I haven't noticed that before. Oh, this one is. I guess I just need to force this one a little bit. Yeah, there we go. It's actually coming off that little peg right there, that little mushroom. All right, and does rotate here at the waist, goes forward, back. You can see that the only problem with when you rotate this, it kind of pushes right here. So does the same thing on wheel jack, but does go in and out quite a bit there. Rotates, bends 90 degrees, and then the foot does have ankle tilt. So whatever you need to do with that, you can put them in some crazy poses. All right, now to put them into his alt mode, first thing we're going to do is straighten the head out, come up with the shoulders. We're going to rotate them to where they're kind of, bending backwards at the bicep, and just straighten them out there. With the hand, we're going to rotate it and then come down. I'm going to swing this spoiler around and then come down with this little bitty piece like that. So that's basically what it should look like. Try to raise the camera up. I had to start over earlier because I didn't have the camera raised so you could see what I was talking about. This little mushroom cap, the little thing wants to come off. Need to put some nail polish in there. But come down with that. Rotate with this section here. There we go. And then you can come down with this section. So it looks like that. Next thing we're going to do is bend these wings back a little bit. I'm going to rotate those all the way around up underneath this section here. Then that's going to allow you to come back like so. Bend these around to where they're just like going up like a touchdown. And then that's whenever you're going to put the wings down. Now, again, like I mentioned before, instead of pushing down here, make sure you're pushing down at the joint. So down there, so we don't break this. And they'll set just like so. You can go ahead and come up with this section here as well. And then we are going to pull this together. And do the same thing with this one. And pull all that together. And then you can finish up tucking it up underneath here. Just transformed this thing a couple times before I got on camera. And I didn't have problems with this little piece here. There we go. So you got to get these two sections up underneath. You can see that little rod in there. So you got to make sure that that's on top of it, because there's just like a little single bar that can fit through there, and then that section needs to be on top. So now that'll fit together, we can go ahead and you can see how this still looks a little bit loose. It's not really held together very well. Once you tab that in, everything else kind of lines up the way it's supposed to. So yeah, now everything looks like it's all tabbed together properly. Come out with this, come down with the head, and then you can put these two tabs into that. And before we mess with this, let's go ahead and do the legs. There's a tab there, that little hole in that circle there. So you're going to come up with that, rotate that, and then again there's the tab and then the hole. Make sure you get that in there. Do the same thing with this. Untab, pull up, rotate, excuse me, and get that in there again. This section of the legs, just untab that because it was plugged into the bottom. Rotate that all the way up. Do the same thing with this one. And with this, there's two rods here. You see that there's one right there and there's one right there. We're going to want to come down all the way on this one here. So all the way down, and then that'll allow us to collapse the rest of the foot. So do the same thing on this one, come all the way down, and then we can collapse the rest of the foot there. So all this is set up. We just need to slide them in and rotate this. So the first thing I'm going to do is start coming back with this, rotating the legs forward and getting that to fit in there. And then pushing the legs in, and then we can get all this situated. Tap those in, that down there, that together, and then push down on that. And then it's just about making sure things are like that's not in. Go ahead and get that, pop that in. Let's see if that one's done. In case this back comes done. Make sure those are done as well. And there you have them all back together. So you can put the little gun on his back again, make it an exhaust, so rolls nice. So pretty cool figure. I like it. So if you guys find it for a good price, maybe you pick it up, maybe you pick up the KO, maybe you just kind of ignore it completely. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.